Hi, Honor Yogis. Welcome and namaste. My name is Charity, and today we are going to be playing with a lunge variation known as Skandasana. And so I want to start actually by showing you a variation of this with blocks if you have them available. This is going to make the pose a little bit more accessible. So we're going to actually start in what's known as Malasana. You can grab either one block and slide it underneath your seat. And if this doesn't feel high enough, then take another block and just make sure that they're stacked up evenly so that you have really stable support. And Malasana is this squat pose variation where the knees are bent. And then you can either take the hands to the heart or relax here. And our Skandasana or our extended Malasana posture is essentially this, except with one leg extended out. And so you can start to play with the shape from the blocks and flex the feet. Notice how the toes are up and there's some engagement in this extended leg. And so you can play with that here, take a couple breaths, enjoy that for a moment. And then when you're ready, just simply bring that back and extend it out to the other side. And you can do this with one block. It's just a little bit more challenging, a little harder to extend the leg out, but you can certainly do that just to play with the shape. And also to start to feel how low the hips are to the floor, because that's going to be really important in just a moment. So now let's experience that same shape from standing. Go ahead and come on up, and you can move your blocks to the side. And then come to your mat facing long ways, the exact same place that you were before. We're going to take a really nice big open stance in the legs. And I always recommend in this particular pose that we're going to turn the toes in just for a moment and then bring your hands up overhead. Take a nice deep reach up towards the ceiling and exhale, swan dive, leading with the chest so that your back is nice and long, and come to wide-legged forward fold. Now from here, we're going to take our right heel in and turn the right toes out. You see how that worked? That little pivot of the foot. And now we bend into the right knee and shift the weight towards the right foot. This is where you have to free up your left foot and turn the left toes up towards the ceiling and squat the hips all the way down. This is sometimes the trickiest part because it's easy to get stuck right about here. So if you're starting to get stuck, see if the hips will come down. That's one thing to try first. Or see if it helps to get up onto the ball of your foot. Sometimes that'll free up a little bit more motion in the hip, and then the toes will turn up for you. So try both ways. Take a couple of breaths and start to get up lighter on the fingertips. This might be another place that you can use your block. If you want to slide it underneath the seat, you certainly can, or you can use it under your hands. And if balance starts to become accessible, either with heel up or heel down, bring your hands to the heart. Take a full breath in. Take a full breath out. And let's come to the other side. Bring your hands back to the floor, to your block. You can slide it with you as you move. Notice how my toes are turning in to support my knees in wide-legged forward fold. Pivot to the other side, left heel in, left toes out. Pop your right toes up and sink your hips to the floor. Option to come up onto the ball of the foot. Find your variation on this side. Notice that it's not going to be the same because your hip joints are usually not the same side to side. And just notice that stretch that's coming through the inner hamstring as well as the adductor on your right side. And find your variation, hands down or hands to the heart, full breath in. Full breath out. And let's walk it back to center. Come back to your wide-legged forward fold, toes in, heels slightly out. Let's come up halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, fold down. Hands on your hips for support, small bend in your knees. Let's rise all the way up, big reach, arms up overhead. And thank you so much for joining me today, Honor Yogis. Namaste.